I love you all.
Awesome. Well, I believe we are ready to get started now. Thank you for everyone joining us. Our team is super excited to share what we've been doing in recent years, and we appreciate all of the questions that you all have submitted for us to answer, and we'll address as many as we possibly can. With that being said, my name is Max Higgins. I'm the current Chief Executive Officer for Flyer Enterprises. I am from Louisville, Kentucky, and a senior studying marketing and finance. A few housekeeping things before we get started. So this is the first of a set of sessions that will be hosted on Wednesdays at noon. This will be posted on UDigital because we're recording it via Zoom. It's open to the public after that. Additionally, the next session that will be taking place is the FITS Leadership Center. So they'll be talking, I believe, next Wednesday, but that link to sign up will be sent in the chat. Now that we're done with all of our housekeeping, I'm going to turn it over to Maya to introduce herself. Go ahead, Maya.
Okay. My name's Maya Gerker. I'm also a senior. I'm an operations major, and I'm the chief operating officer here. I'm from Delphus, Ohio. Nick, you want to go?
Yeah. Hello, guys. My name is Nick Best. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I am also a senior, currently studying finance and sales. A little bit about my journey through FE. Started at Heritage Coffee House. Went to become the financial manager there. Then last year took over as chief financial officer, and now I'm back as the president of coffee. Great to meet you guys.
Hi, I'm Colin Wolf. I'm a senior digital marketing and entrepreneurship double major. I'm currently serving as chief marketing officer. I got my start at Arch Street Cafe, then became the director of human resources there. And then now I'm serving as chief marketing officer, like I said.
Hello, everyone. My name's Jack Crackle. I'm a junior finance and accounting major from Chicago, Illinois. I started FE my freshman year in the fall at the Galley as a sales associate, then went to Stewarts Landing as the product manager my sophomore year, and now I have the opportunity to serve as vice president of operations.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And last but not least, I want to introduce our, someone who wears a bunch of different hats for us, but he serves on our board. He's a 08 alum and is currently working at Blank Space. Tony Blankenmeyer, do you want to explain a little bit about who you are and what you're doing here today?
Hi, welcome everybody to today's screencast. We're really excited to learn a little bit more about where FE is today. As Max mentioned, 08 alum and big supporter, proud to be of Flyer Enterprises alumni. So today I help serve at the capacity as on the board of trustees to help guide overarching strategy and support our student leaders as they continue to grow and develop the organization and plan for their future. So today I get to play moderator, and if you have any questions, feel free to include them in the chat below. But I know that the rest of the team has a few things that they're going to share with us before we jump into that. But pleased to be here. Feel free to ask questions, and we'll get them to the group in more of a panel format towards the end. Thank you.
All right, I'm just going to quickly share my screen and we will get started. Will someone on the team make sure that they can view this?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, thank you again for joining, and we're just going to provide a brief update of what the company looks like today. There are a lot of FE alums in the stand, so it may look a little bit different than when you were here, and hopefully that is a positive change. Additionally, we'll go over some of our recent growths that we have experienced, and we'll also address the elephant in the room that is COVID-19. Walk through a little bit how it's impacted us, how it's changed us for better and for worse. And then lastly, we'll go through some of our focuses for this year. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Nick and let him talk about some of the coffee divisions.
Yeah, thanks, Max. So starting off at the blend, we're going to work in the order that divisions were established. So the blend was first established in 2000. It's located in Roche Library. We're still serving gourmet espresso drinks, specialty coffees, smoothies, and pastries there, which has been really quite cool. Thank you, Max. And next is the Blend Express, established in 2002. That's located in Atrium, which is kind of the lobby area of the business school and Miriam Hall. Again, offering gourmet espresso drinks, specialty coffee, smoothies, fresh pastries. Something I want to bring to everyone's attention was for a long time, these two were big cash cows for FE, made a lot of money. With the recent updates to KU and just Brown Street growing in general and the competition that's come to UD, we actually saw a steep decline in revenue at these divisions. So we thought it was time to make a change. So we actually stepped away from Boston Stoker, who was a longtime proud vendor for us, and actually turned over to Starbucks. We went to Starbucks. We had about 4 months of Starbucks before COVID hit last year. In that same 4-month period, we saw about a $30,000 increase in revenue. So it was a change we felt we needed to make, and pretty positive changes here to start. I'll turn it over to Jack to talk a little bit about some of our dining service divisions.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. So I'll dive into the first dining services joint venture division, which is Stewarts Landing. Stewarts was established in 2002 as Rudys on the Hill, and then was later rebranded to Stewarts Landing in 2005. Located on the first floor of Stewart Hall, we offer grab-and-go snacks, beverages, frozen meals, and a lot more to residents of the building, mainly freshmen. Some recent developments at the division has been the transition to HT Hackney from McConnell, so we did a big supplier swap there. In addition to that swap, we've expanded our product offering over the past year. So implementation of more consumer type goods, so paper towels, medicine, laundry detergent, and some more items have really boosted our sales over the past year. And as the only division currently operating for FE, we've seen great success in the policies put into place to keep the students and staff safe, and we're hopeful that we can translate those policies over to our other divisions. Okay. Yep, and then going on to the second dining services joint venture division, the Galley's located in the hangar in Kennedy Union. It was opened in 2004, originally serving ice cream, milkshakes, and other snack foods. Kind of a staple for students to get a quick bite to eat in the middle of campus. We had a great location. This year, due to social distancing efforts, dining services was unable to open their sandwich counter at Toss. And in an effort to protect the integrity of UD's community, we met with university officials and decided that we could fill the void for a sandwich and wrap division in Kennedy Union. So the Galley is now offering sandwiches, wraps, and donuts, actually. So we're really excited about the opportunity to broaden our customer base now with a complete revamp of the menu. So super excited to open the division and see the results from the new products. And now we'll go into the first culinary division. So Art Street Cafe was established in 2004, located in the heart of the Art Street complex. Offer made to order sandwiches, wraps, and salads to serve the student population living in the student neighborhood. Recent developments include the introduction of grab-and-go items for students to have ease of access to just quick bites to eat. And since the operation is currently closed, we haven't been able to tailor our grab-and-go model quite yet. But we plan on introducing more convenience store type items to Art Street as well. Paper towels, medicines, chips, candy, all types of things, so we can introduce more products. And now I'll pass it off to Maya to talk about the chill.
Thanks, Jack. So the Chill is the third dining services division. It is located in the back of the Recplex and was established in 2006. We've kind of switched product offerings over the years from yogurt, frozen yogurt, to more of an healthier options now. We serve smoothies and acai bowls, pitaya bowls, Gatorade, muscle milk, different granola bars, healthy options. We try to explore and keep up with the trend at the Chill. In recent developments, we have switched to plant-based protein. We also have pre-workout that people can purchase just like in a little container to put in their water bottles. And then last year, we started offering all of our smoothies in bowls that people could put toppings on for one standard price, and it helped our sales grow tremendously last year. Next is FE Moving and Storage. It was established in 2011 and has been going out of Chaminade. This year, we could not do moving and storage because of COVID. But it provides a moving and storage for all UD students: boxes, furniture, couches, lights, mirrors, you name it. And our recent developments are that we're looking for an alternative location, whether that's pods, some are on campus, off campus. We're still looking for this upcoming summer and hoping to still have this division running. Next is Heritage Coffee House. It was established in 2017 and it's located right in the middle of campus, close to the business building, KU, very accessible. The product offerings are gourmet espresso drinks, fresh pastries, and different kind of juices, also staying up with the trend there. Recent developments are that we rent out the space. One thing is like Citizens of the World, we'll rent it out during finals week. Students can come study. Clubs and organizations can use it as a takeover to earn some revenue for us, but also get some money for them too. And also we host the English department every Tuesdays. They allow their students to come study as well. So different things like that have helped us get the name out there and also bring in extra cash. And then I'll turn it over to Colin.
Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about the two digital divisions that FE offers. So FE Digital was established in 2018. For those who don't know, it is a digital consulting division. So they partner with small businesses and organizations around the Dayton community to help strengthen their digital presence. This can include building a site, maybe some digital marketing help, media strategy, really anything. But they've been active since it is digital. We've been able to keep it going through COVID. One of the really cool projects that they've been working on is they launched a philanthropic campaign with 319 Coffee, who's our coffee supplier at Art Street Cafe and Heritage Coffee House. So really good relationship with them. They just are working on a site with a company called Fastline, which is a kind of a farm equipment, local farm equipment website and retailer. And then they just created a site for the flyer pitch competition downtown. So really great things coming from them. And next up, we have Rudys Runway, which is our e-commerce site. It was established in 2018. The inventory is stored in Chaminade Hall. It's our version of giving out UD apparel. Recently, they were targeting alumni, but over the last year or so, they've been kind of restructuring a little bit and targeting more students again, because it's an easier target market to establish our presence in. And the team this year has been great. They've already released a bunch of new products. We actually just partnered with Logos at Work, which is a local company here in Dayton, to establish a customizable product offering. So one design comes in now many different colors, and all the products are printed to order. So some really great stuff coming out of Rudys Runway. I think Nick will drop in the link to the chat so you can go take a look over there, see what they're offering. But next up, I'm going to give it over to Max. Oh wait, no, I'm going to go over the company overview. Just kidding. So here's the company overview. Underneath Max, the CEO, there's 4 C-level positions, as well as 5 president divisions who help look over our operations. I think it's all fairly explanatory. I don't really need to go into too great of detail about this, but we've got 23 management positions available right now. And typically we float around 180 sales associates. Right now we're a little bit underneath that, just because we haven't quite hired as much as we were planning on in the spring or this fall, just due to divisions being closed from COVID. But now I'm going to pass it over to Max Higgins to talk about some of our recent growth numbers.
Awesome. Now it's my turn. Thank you. So just some things that we have put in place that Dawn Brown, I think, is in the audience. She has been a consultant for us, and she phrases it as turning the ship around. So some things we put in place that I think have started that trend is our accounting practices. So I mentioned Dawn before, but she helped and joined on to the FE team as a consultant for us and implemented QuickBooks for more accurate reporting. This was a big change for us. We're able to do a lot more data analytics and really make decisions on factual information just rather than just your gut, which I think is one of the reasons why we saw a lot of growth last year. We had forecasted out $1.3 million in sales, which is a 15% change year over year. This was an exciting thing for us to experience just because we had been stuck at 1.2 for a couple of years. Unfortunately, COVID-19 hit and we weren't able to operate as students went home. But I believe those forecasted revenues were largely in part to one, more students being on campus. We took a look at our pricing and adjusted a lot of our prices. And then also we looked into more of our discounts and what we're really getting benefits out of. And then lastly, one thing that happened from 19 to 20 is that we were able to start the groundwork in developing one of the largest FE divisions in the arcade. So we partnered with University of Dayton and the Hub to build a division in what is going to be a work share space for local entrepreneurs in an effort to build up UD's entrepreneurship efforts, which at one point was, I believe Dayton was the entrepreneurship capital of the world. So just to get back towards that. And then let me move forward. So I touched on it a little bit earlier, but obviously a lot of things have changed due to COVID-19. Every company is going through it, and it doesn't leave out a student-run organization. We've been going through it too. So some of the steps we've been taking to ensure safety at our divisions is one, contactless checkout. So a customer is able to go up and either scan their ID or swipe their card and not have to hand over their card at any point. Additionally, we've gone cashless. We've shifted all of our operations to either grab and go or carry out. This has made it possible for students to have a contactless transaction. Additionally, we've limited entry and exit points, just making sure the flows work instead of having a bunch of clusters in certain spaces, and limited a bunch of our capacities across all divisions. So places like Heritage, which were traditionally a gathering spot, as well as Art Street, will strictly be grab and go. Obviously a big change for us, but it's what we need to do in order to adhere to not only UD's guidelines, but the CDC's guidelines. Some additional procedures we put in place. So we ran into a pretty big problem when we lost probably 30 plus seniors, and there was a hiring freeze at the university. So to get around this, towards the beginning of the school year this year, we started hiring virtually. This allowed us to not only get ahead of the game, but have our staff in place so that we can start training them and getting them ready for the coming year. So additionally, we've had to add things to our employee handbook, like wearing a mask, which I don't think any of us ever thought would be a thing going in to our freshman year at Dayton. And then additionally, we've increased cleaning requirements, for increased equipment and things of that nature. So we mentioned it previously, but Rudys Runway is the only brick and mortar division operating. And that's strictly based on recommendations from the university. So they have what is called their Path Forward team, and they assess the risk of each individual, not only our operation, but just anything that's going on in the university as a whole. So for instance, intramurals aren't a thing this year, but for us, we submit approvals to open up divisions, and once those divisions are approved, then they are operated. We're not operating unless UD deems it safe and necessary to operate, and that's why Stewarts Landing is operating, because it provides a alternative for students, first-year students, to eat on campus. Additionally, Rudys Runway is strictly virtual with the made-to-order product offering. A lot of the hands-on interactions have gone by the wayside, which has been a key development for us during this time, that we're able to still produce things without having that face-to-face interaction. And then lastly, I just want to touch on some of our focuses for the year. So we've made a pretty big shift into focusing strictly on more data-driven decisions. One of our main focuses that we wanted to do for this year is implement key performance indicators. I'm sure in past years they had been a thing, and somewhere down the line they got lost with how FE and turnover works. We put those in place and put tracking measures to be able to gauge them on a week-to-week and month-to-month basis. Additionally, we're forecasting out things like payroll and food costs, which we've traditionally struggled with, and being able to have those conversations about where we can really improve upon those things before it becomes a real problem. Additionally, we've changed a lot of our product pricing due to many of the worksheets and things that we've worked on over the summer, just really analyzing what is the true cost of what like a panini or things like that. Additionally, we've shifted our focus to really trying to develop leaders. I think Tony said it to me one time, but somehow down the line we ended up adding more positions but not getting the same value out of it, and we've really been trying to focus on giving sales associates the value and skills they need to succeed in the future. This includes things like workshops and really giving sales associates opportunity to move up and play a bigger role in the organization. And the last thing we're really focusing on is Rudys Runway. So with it being a complete virtual experience, we're able to develop and promote new products from our laptop, which is awesome. This was something that Rudys had really struggled with. I mean, you would look on the site and there was maybe 10 products, and people lose interest pretty quickly because there's not much to scroll through. Adding our partnership with a customizable offering allows us to increase our product offering with limited cost associated with it. Another thing I want to touch upon is we've been focusing on putting in place the framework and the actual structure of the arcade division. So we had established a partner. Unfortunately, that partner fell through. So we're currently evaluating a lot of our options for the future, things like pizza shops, coffee shops, things like that. And we hope to have something nailed down very soon. With that, I will turn it over to Tony, and I can stop sharing my screen. There we go. For some Q&A.
Great. Thanks, FE team. We really appreciate you sharing kind of a status update of where we are today and where we've come from. We're getting quite a few questions coming in, so I know we're a little bit tight on time as we're trying to keep these to a half hour, but I will try to cherry pick a few. that have some common themes. So the first one for the team is largely around staffing and talent. So there was mention that due to COVID-19, only a few divisions are operational from a brick and mortar standpoint, yet you have 180 employees. So what are others doing? How are you helping continue to skill develop and keep them engaged in the organization?
I could take this one. So one thing we've been doing throughout it is having different competitions. So for instance, we're about to start our second round of Rudys competitions where employees are able to produce products and design products and submit them to Rudys Runway in an effort to build the product offering on the site. Additionally, Colin and I have been working on creating a bunch of different training activities. So things like resume building, LinkedIn, job searching, operational efficiency, the different types of operations, how FE works, how different companies in the real world work, trainings on QuickBooks and different tools to measure success in a company, as well as just leadership as a whole. These are the things we're trying to focus on this year as building successful, not just employees, but also students that will become a big part of corporate America in the future.
Great, thanks, Max. Another talent-related question is, FE in the past has worked on some diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Wondering if you could maybe share a little bit about some of the efforts and focus in that particular area.
Yeah, I can take this one. So this was actually, I think one of FE's biggest weaknesses is our lack of diversity. And this was something that we've began to address back in the spring, before we even broke for COVID, before we even broke for the summer. It was something that we really wanted to set a plan in place. So over the summer, we actually worked with Dr. Castell Sweet, who is working with the Karate Center as their diversity and inclusion expert. She was just recently hired on to hopefully kind of reshape the way that student employment works at the University of Dayton. So we put together a plan that's both broken into short and long term. So for short term, we've reached out to a lot of different diverse organizations on campus that Flyer Enterprises has never talked to before. In the past, FE would just reach out to like a business 101 class full of freshmen, and then just basic postings in the business school. But we've been focusing on reaching out to other majors, other organizations, both in the business school and beyond. And so far, we've really created some great relationships so that hopefully in the spring, when we start to hire again, when we get more hiring opportunities, we'll start to see a more diverse hiring class. So it's not an easy process. It's definitely a long-term process, but I think that we're making some really good steps right now.
Thanks, Colin. Another question here I'll try to fit in, and it's kind of one of the elephants in the room for FE every year is you only have so much time at the helm, and then you have to think about transitioning things over, correct? And one thing I'll applaud this particular team and even the graduating seniors in the spring is as things started to hit with the pandemic, they instantly went into creative solutions on how they can continue the mission forward, even if we were at some type of limited capacity. So I'm sure that's on your mind now. How do you think about that knowledge transfer and preparing people for that next step, as many of you will move on graduating here next spring?
That is definitely the elephant in the room. I feel like every year we talk about turnover and how big of a problem it is. This year it just amplified by 20 times because of the not having people working and things like that. So one, I kind of touched on it before, but the training sessions that I mentioned with Colin and the rest of the team, this is a way to build that knowledge and give people opportunities when we're not operating. Additionally, we've really focused on trying to write down as much as possible. It's really difficult to pass things like a telephone. You start off saying Flyer Enterprises and it turns into saying Wild Duck or something crazy. So it's definitely difficult, and the more we write down, the better. We're lucky. We have a group of really dedicated leadership members where this isn't the last time we're going to be talking about Flyer Enterprises. We'll stick around and we're always here to help, similar to how Tony's been. We love it. We love doing it. And if someone's ever going to reach out and need help, we're going to be there for them. So just a mix between writing things down and moving into more of a consultative role once we graduate.
Great. I know we're at time, so I'll do a quick wrap up and say thank you to the students for volunteering their time. Thank you for all of the participants for your good questions. There's quite a few we did not get to. One thing I'll do is make sure we summarize these and get them over to the team. If you have additional questions, you want to make a personal connection into the leadership team, if you email, and I'm going to make this up and correct me if I'm wrong, Max, if you email ceo@flyerenterprises.com, I believe that'll hit his inbox and he will make sure that those specific questions get to the right people. Is that a safe assumption?
That is a safe assumption. You've held that email address too, so you should know it.
All right, very good. Well, any parting words from any of the students?
We appreciate all the questions and thank you all for joining. We love doing these kind of things, and reach out if you have any questions. We're always willing to answer. So.
All right, thank you everyone, and go Flyers.
Flyers. Thank you guys.